Coco Gauff has hilarious comment about why she likes watching Daniil Medvedev. Coco Gauff reveals she likes to tune into Daniil Medvedev's matches for one simple reason, and that's never knowing what the Russian will do on the court. On Friday, the United States team held its pre-tournament press conference at the United Cup. After answering several questions about her preseason and state at the start of the 2026 season, Gauff was asked if she could reveal her favorite players to watch. The reigning French Open champion acknowledged that Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner were definitely interesting, before also throwing out Medvedev's name. I mean, Jannik and Carlos are pretty fun to watch. I like watching Daniil just because you never know what he'll do on the court, the third-ranked WTA player said. Gauff's comment about Medvedev may be funny, but it is 100% true at the same time. Over the years, the Russian has delivered numerous viral moments on the court that came during his outbursts and meltdowns. The last such case occurred during the US Open, when the 29-year-old stopped play for 6 minutes and encouraged the crowd to boo the chair umpire because he was dissatisfied with his decision. Gauff on her opening United Cup match. The United States will launch its United Cup title defense on Saturday by taking on Argentina. In the ties women's singles match, Gauff will clash against world number 66 Solana Sierra. The two-time Grand Slam champion has no previous meetings against the 21-year-old Argentine. The American enters as the big favorite, but insists that she won't take her rival for granted. I think it's always tricky playing someone you never played before. So I guess I'll just take it match by match. I haven't really looked forward to Jessica's match next, because it's next. But for Solana, I know she can serve well. I haven't played her. Feisty player, so I know I have to compete for each point, Gauff said. In tennis, appreciation often comes dressed in reverence. Players praise each other with polished phrases, great competitor, incredible athlete, so much respect. But every now and then, admiration shows up wearing sneakers on the wrong feet, carrying a joke, and laughing at the absurdity of it all. That's where this story lives. In the moment, Coco Gauff, with her trademark wit and unfiltered honesty, explains, hilariously, why she loves watching Daniil Medvedev play tennis. It wasn't at a press conference soaked in seriousness. It was one of those lighter moments, the kind where the microphones are still on but everyone has relaxed just enough for the truth to sneak out. Coco leaned back in her chair, grinning, eyes sparkling the way they do when she's about to say something she knows is funny. I just like watching Medvedev, she said, pausing. Because it looks like he's arguing with gravity. That was it. The room laughed. And just like that, Coco had perfectly summarized what millions of tennis fans feel but never quite manage to articulate. The art of the awkward. Daniil Medvedev does not move like the tennis players of textbooks and highlight reels. There is no Federer-like glide, no Nadal-esque explosive power poses, no Djokovic elasticity that looks like it belongs in a yoga studio rather than on a hard court. Medvedev moves as if his limbs were designed independently and only agreed to cooperate at the last possible second. And yet, he wins. That, according to Coco, in our imagined but deeply believable retelling, is exactly the point. He looks like he's about to fall every time, she joked. But then the ball is exactly where it needs to be. It's confusing. And I love it. For a young player like Coco Gauff, someone who grew up watching tennis greatness, studying technique, drilling patterns, Medvedev represents something both liberating and hilarious, proof that there is no single right way to play the game. When genius looks like chaos. Coco's humor isn't mocking, it's appreciative. She's laughing with the chaos, not at it. Medvedev's game is a walking contradiction, awkward yet precise, defensive yet aggressive, robotic in strategy but emotionally unpredictable in execution. Watching him, Coco says, feels like watching someone solve a math problem using methods no one taught you, but somehow still getting the right answer. He'll be 10 feet behind the baseline, she said, shaking her head, and you're like, why are you back there? And then the other player misses. And you're like, oh, that's why. That's the magic. Medvedev makes tennis feel slightly unhinged, like the rules are being bent just enough to keep things interesting. For Coco, who plays in an era of extreme athleticism and intense pressure, there's something refreshing about that. Entertainment value, 10 out of 10. Beyond technique, There's the personality. Medvedev doesn't just play tennis, he reacts to it. He debates with umpires, mutters to himself, throws his arms up at the sky like it personally betrayed him. Every match feels like a one-man show with tennis as the supporting cast. Coco, known for her emotional intelligence and composure, finds this endlessly entertaining. You never know what you're going to get, she laughed. It's like tennis, but also stand-up comedy. And she's not wrong. One moment Medvedev is dismantling an opponent with surgical precision, the next, he's sarcastically applauding a ball kid or giving the crowd a look that says, "Yes, I know this is ridiculous. We're all thinking it." For a generation raised on memes and authenticity, that kind of realness resonates. Coco doesn't just see a champion, she sees a human being navigating frustration in real time without polishing it into something marketable. Inspiration in unlikely places. The funniest part of Coco's comment isn't just that it's true, it's that it reveals something deeper about her as an athlete. Coco Gauff understands that greatness doesn't have to look graceful all the time. It can look messy. It can look weird. It can even look funny. "I think it reminds me," she said thoughtfully after the laughter died down, "that you don't have to fit a mold. If it works, it works." That's the heart of it. Beneath the joke is a quiet lesson. Success isn't about looking perfect. It's about understanding yourself well enough to win on your own terms. Medvedev does that. And Coco, wise beyond her years, sees it clearly, laughing because it's tennis. At the end of the day, Coco's hilarious comment lands so well because it brings joy back to the sport. Tennis can be intense, demanding, and relentlessly serious. But moments like these, where a top player admits she enjoys watching another player because he's unintentionally funny, remind us why people fall in love with the game in the first place. It's not just about trophies and rankings. It's about personality. It's about unpredictability. It's about laughing when someone looks like they're about to trip over their own feet and instead hits a winner down the line. Coco Gauff laughs because Daniil Medvedev makes tennis fun in a way only he can. And in doing so, she gives fans permission to laugh too, not at the sport, but with it. Because sometimes, the most brilliant thing about greatness is that it doesn't always look serious. And that, perhaps, is the funniest and truest comment of all.